Hello, my name is Daniel Preston, and this is my art talk for my humanities class in Bayside College. Now, the painting I decided to choose is the Entombment of Atala, painting by Anna Louis Girodet Trioson. A little bit about the painter was that he was a French painter and pupil of Jacques Louis David, who is part of the beginning of the Romanticism movement by adding elements of eroticism through his paintings. This specific painting of his was it was painted in 1808 and described as Girodet's style, as his style was described as having a precision of drawing reminiscent of the masterpieces of antiquity, a fresh coloring, a studied effect, and a brushstroke at once generous, fluent, and delicate. This specific painting actually won the Légion d'Honneur in 1812. The painter actually inherited a fortune, painted less, and then became an author as he dedicated himself increasingly to writing tedious poems and aesthetics in a house shuttered to daylight. So he didn't like daylight, which is kind of ironic because of his beautiful painting involves daylight. But as you can see by the way this was painted, it's really neoclassical like his mentor was. It has idealism, linearity, and sculptured forms, as you can tell by this man's body right here. Attention to detail, the different folds in the fabrics, the color's amazing, and frieze-like placement of the dramatic narrative to the foreground plane. Not only that, but it holds a lot of romanticism, as you can tell by this exotic location with all the trees and the sunlight and a cave, and also eroticism, like I mentioned earlier, for the Romanticism movement. As you can tell by the way this woman's laid and how tight-fitting the cloth laid on her is. And the pain and emotion of the individual. You can tell that Chadicus right here, that's the name of this man right here, Chadicus. This is just a saint, pretty much. And this is Atala. And you can just tell the pain and the heartfelt pain he has over losing his lover Atala. And this painting was drawn from a popular work by French Romantic novelist Francois Auguste René de Chateaubriand. He lived 1768 to 1848. And what gave the heart to this painting is in the novel Atala, who's right here. It's called The Love of Two Savages in the Wilderness by Chateaubriand, and it gave the Girodet, the painter, the subject for one of his most popular paintings, like I said earlier, which won a prize. It's set in primitive America of the 17th century, and Atala is a tragic story of a young Christian métis who falls madly in love with Chadicus right here, who's an Indian, whom she saved from a death sentence. And she's taken in by a missionary, Father Aubrey, after a long walkabout. And the young lovers, however, cannot live out their passion because Atala right here made an amazingly smart decision, and she made a vow to her mother and dedicated herself to her religion and to chastity. So instead of giving into her passion for Chadicus, she commits suicide so she wouldn't break that vow. Which to me doesn't seem very religious or agree with the religion, but she committed suicide even though Chadicus was willing to convert to Christianity so they would be able to marry. So it's a tragic story of a young Native American man and woman, Chadicus and Atala, who have fallen in love but are from different worlds, essentially. And rather than break it, she kills herself. So he's there in the painting lowering her into her grave, which is the climax of the novel, essentially, afterwards, or following the climax where they're burying her right here. And you can really tell the religious theme. There's a cross right here, there's a cross right here, and this shovel even could symbolize a cross as they dug the hole for her grave. And you can just really see the romanticism part of it with Chadicus, the pain he has where he's holding on to her with his arms and his whole body to her legs because he's not willing to let her go because of his heartfelt pain of the passion of the person he loved. And if you could see right here, there's actually a carving on the wall of the cave. It's a verse from the book of Job. It's, "When it is yet in flower, and is not plucked with the hand, it withered before all herbs." Now that's really deep for this painting, because she was yet in flower, yet she wouldn't give herself to her love because she made the vow. So it's just a really sad story, which Girodet chose to paint. Now, the painting in the background, like I touched on earlier, the exotic place, this is meant to bring to mind the New World, specifically the Louisiana wilderness for the time period. Just overall, it's just, to me, a really beautiful painting, and it's just the amazing colors and color scheme of everything, and it has a story behind the painting. It's not just something that was done. So, this was my art talk on the Entombment of Atala, painting by Anna Louise Girodet Trielson, and is also called Atala's Funeral. As you can see, she's being buried. Thank you. See you later.